Yeah, certainly is. I think our Gwens, it's almost like they have a huge impact or none at all, strangely. And I hope it's the former rather than the latter. I hope that Kana is able to do something in this game because our Ornns, it kind of fell off a cliff. You know, we haven't seen Ornn in a little bit here. You know, with all the Trundles and all the counter picks that eventually started coming out here, Ornn kind of slipped away. But with all the bans, he does make his return. And here we go. Lal Park packed on a Saturday night.
This is by no means a lead for either team right now at this moment in time. Scaling versus Scaling.
Is this a Tahm Kench gank? Because the mid laners are about to hit level 6. Yeah, we're getting in there. Dread's here as well. And Effort is ready to go with the exhaust as Vikla has stolen this. The damage not quite there. Now Cuz is in position to help out and push them away. Vikla survives against 3.
Flash traded for exhaust here, but this gives BDD a lot of lane control.
So they're trying to push this one in, but at the same time, they leave the control ward there as KT see this, and Still Life is going to flash in for this one. Knock up onto the Renata Glass. Big Cyclone, though, is going to be enough. The turn is there. And now 3v2, Dread trying to get it in. He's able to, oh no, just barely not able to get the kill onto this Wukong, but Ghost has got about 5 billion chakrams and is able to trade it back and will take control of the lane.
At least Ghost is able to get this win here at the end, and like you said, takes control of the lane. They do have the power here around Drake once again. BDD has control of the mid lane, and maybe with Dread respawning here, they will force the fight. But Herald is also up, so this is very tricky for aiming right now. As Ghost could just stay down here, he has Crescendum. Aiming is very low. He has no idea if Dread is coming down for a follow-up gank or if they're going for Herald.
Ult popped here by aiming. He's just trying to push Ghost out. Does he have the poison damage? He might. The flash comes in, and it is followed. The poison not going to land. Has some extra healing there for Ghost, and aiming just barely. It's not able to pick up the kill. Wow. Not amounting to too much as here we go. Fight over this Rift Herald. The first one, nice knock up. Nope, denied by the Ornn as the Ornhorn is coming in. Big berserk now as the Ornhorn knocks up 2. Vikla gets the kick and misses the chains himself, but he's got a ton of damage as another knockup comes in from Rascal. A 3-man! Divide comes in from BDD. Massive to try to turn this, but still only trades 1 for 1. Mid laners are down. And the Rift Herald picked up here by Dread, still on the chase, looking for the Ornn. They've got the damage there, Dread and Kana putting 2 and 2 together, and they get a bonus kill.
Yeah, but Nongshim are in a really nice spot now in this game with the Herald under their control. Bottom side control means they have prio for Drake. And Ghost is not done yet. Like, he has effort here.
Yeah, should be 2 plates, just essentially because he built up a gigantic wave. And because of course, this turn, as that's a lot of damage coming in. The poison is enough, as aiming does proc that and picks up a kill, essentially by himself and on it. As you can see, this is how this happens. He just face checks and aiming runs it down.
Yeah.
In a good way.
In a good way. He
runs him down the lane with
chases him.
Yeah, oh, that's a much better way to say it. I should learn about that.
There you go. Well, we got there in the end.
Chases him, yeah.
Kana ran it down towards that bush.
True.
He ran it slightly bush.
Excuse me?
There we go. So yeah, if you actually cast it, it will continue to go off even if, okay,
here we go again, the spray and the pray coming in. Effort takes a ton of damage in trade.
So remember what I said about the power spike being a little bit later for Aphelios in these trades? Blade of the Root King allows him to chase like this, do tons of damage, getting the Twitch accelerated in a 2v2 sometimes means he could just all-in you and kill you.
No play there for Vikla, and no follow-up, actually. Going to push Rascal towards the turret, but it is an Ornn. The Frozen Fist already completed, so not really TP available for Rascal. This is where every team loves to fight now here in the LCK. We have deemed Shirley the valuable one as a double knock up into that backside. Great Devour, though, is buying some time for Nongshim, but it might not be enough. He's got that wall set up, this BDD, and now the Needles are doing a bunch of damage, but nobody can get executed. Aiming on the front line has to flash away, as Vikla wants to try to turn it around. Might be a mistake. The rest of his team cannot follow up on this, as Ghost actually does a great job shelling out the damage after that.
Want the fight, and that's going to give them a Drake here. 2 Drakes in their pockets.
Oh boy. Hextech Soul is gigantic for both teams. Here come the Needles. Needles versus Needles. Which Needles are better? Turns out the original is better than the sequel.
Well, Riftmaker versus Everfrost. I know where my money is in terms of items here. He has a stopwatch as well. Doesn't even need to use it. And Vikla, that was not the trade you were looking for, my friend. We talked about how Needles very situational. This was not the situation in which you would try to use them. So
yes.
Falls very far behind. Now Kana has 3 kills. I think this is not tragic for Nongshim considering they have a 2 Drake lead.
Okay, they've got a couple of members of Nongshim in the choke, and Dread is the first to go down, as Vikla does get the Ember's Divide here. And we got a follow-up in that back line, but immediate exhaust has come out and lack of follow-up here from KT Rolster.
Vikla's coming, man. He's going through that portal. He's trying to get value out of that high tech. He's like, please.
You know,
on their terms, yeah.
Yeah, they're taking it on their terms. They are the ones that are fighting and pressing their buttons, and Aiming is always in position to do an insane amount of damage, and he has nearly 3 items already.
I mean, no sweepers available now, because like you said, there's only really one. Effort uses it, now Aiming takes his chance.
Aiming is just getting in there, looking to assassinate Kana. He has another idea in mind, as now we got BDD in position. Dread goes way too deep and is able to back out of there at least.
Doesn't have flash for a kick play there, so at least he can retreat because he is Lee Sin. He goes in really fast, he goes out really fast, and will escape with his life. There's no
Hextech Drake coming up here in just about 50 seconds.
Kraken Slayer's up for Aiming, man. He does so much damage. Watch
Aiming
this.
again.
Whew.
A very nice trade back, though. Ghost is really trying his best. I'm not sure how much lifesteal he's got in this build. Probably has some in the runes, no doubt. But compared to a Blade of the Rune King,
he also, of course, is going to have, you know, when he has his Severum, can do a little bit of extra there. But Prio goes to Nongshim here on this Drake. Aiming back, is coming over here with no ultimate for Ghost. But they do have, of course, the Emperor's Divide. Let's see where that hijack goes here for Vikla. Because, I mean, that ultimate hasn't gotten a whole lot of value here for KT this game. He's coming in late.
Just watch Aiming. There is no clearing of vision. Okay, that is a fantastic control ward. Because it's going to move forward, they're not going to protect it, actually. So, see you later, control ward. Another one does come down. Vikla sailing underneath. Very intimidating, no doubt, as the Ornhorn is coming in, just trying to deny this. They're trying to burst, and they do get it. Twitch with it, and Dread is now caught trying to steal the Drake. Not going to happen. Follow-up comes in. The Devour is available, but does not get used. That is 3 members of Nongshim at least that will be taken out on the backside of this, as in goes Vikla, not going to find too much luck, nearly dies. As the crown is still up here for BDD.
Yeah.
Means he's not going to take much damage here, but also means that, again, Nongshim don't go in as a team.
And there's only one Emperor's Divide that gets used in this fight. I hope we get a replay of that one because it was such beautiful play from both teams. All right, one more contest here. He's still got his ult.
Okay, Vikla, it's not your day. Sorry, buddy, but he's trying his best, you know, and BDD's getting a lot of damage done. They're really trying to make this 2v5 happen as BDD goes in, and it is just desperation at this point. No reason to do that, really, but you can tell that kind of broken at this point. KT Rolster with now a massive lead.
Hextech Gate is so busted for Sylas in a fight like this where he can completely just zone BDD away.
That's going to force Devour here now, as this game feels like all but gone. Absolute disaster. Maybe we get a Penta at least at this point, as there's not too much else to say. KT, they take one big fight finally. It felt like there were really little cracks here and there that they were finding, but now after this last couple of minutes, 3 or 4 minutes even, it is just a little bit too much for Nongshim to handle, and everything is falling apart.
Certainly did. This game was not about the Sylas pick, it was about the Twitch pick. Bye-bye, Dread. See ya. Sorry, I did the play-by-play on that one, Valors. You can take the rest.
No, it was good. I loved it. We should switch it up one day. Yeah. Really going to boost those numbers here tonight, aren't you, KT?
700 bounty on a 707 Twitch. Lots of sevens.
Wow. It's time to
go to the casino.
Play the lottery. Yeah. I mean, what's going on
hit
here?
The slots.
Yeah. Here we go again as Nongshim desperate to try to fight something. They feel like they have an advantage in this one, but honestly, the wallet's extremely heavy at this point. Ghost and BDD trying to play front to back, but guess who's here? It is the Rat himself. Not able to penta them, but he does the majority of the damage. Double kill for the 9-0-9 Twitch. Not sure what that means exactly. Maybe he's on cloud 9, not the team, but just in general. As Dread is going to flash away, will deny the ace. And maybe now KT will feel comfortable enough to end the game.
Which means GOG, Valdez. That's what it says.
I think you figured it out, Wolf. Wouldn't have thought myself.
Now it says Luke.
Oh no. GG. That's the end. The Nexus goes down, and the last 5 minutes were a blur. KT Rolster, they doable for Nongshim, but eventually it was absolutely not. As we did get there in the end. KT a little bit slow to get the ball rolling, but I feel like it was more so them just buying time for aiming to hit item spikes, and then eventually, you know. You know, I just don't know if Nongshim are in a position as a team right now to make that happen, as Taric is the choice.
Okay, well, that's not quite the Nautilus defensive support here to stop dives, but Taric protect, but he also attack down there on the bottom side. Did I call him Sunflower? Is that where you were
did.
laughing?
Yes.
Oh.
Nobody plays Taric except, I suppose, Life. But yeah, glad to see it coming out. There are some good spots. This is an interesting one because you're playing against a split push comp, and Taric is very much a team fighting champion, obviously.
Yeah.
With his ultimate, so, and his ability to dazzle with his teammates, right? So, as you can see, it has been almost a full year.
And it was Life. Did it last time?
A fellow Taric enjoyer. Glad to see there is one. Let me see, are Gen.G on blue side? No, they're on red side. Against Halma-Life, and I think that Halma-Life...
Well, assuming they have pick prio, maybe you don't know what they're going to pick. They could...
You think Halma-Life are going to choose red side?
Yeah, you know.
Is that going to happen? Yeah, we'll see. I think Halma-Life's drafts are actually pretty decent. I've actually, it's been one of the teams on the bottom side of the LCK where I'm like, oh, you know what? I can see that. It's just the play hasn't quite been there. Which kind of makes sense.
This game, I think it's a pretty big draft dip, if I'm honest.
Oh boy, Ignite coming down here as well, because in position, Q lands onto Ghost Slow. In effect, a second Dazzle has to be flashed.
Yep, that extended Dazzle is going to force Ghost to peace out, so 2 summoners down.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty nice. And, you know, certainly in this game, I feel like Vikla is going to have a better pick of the litter in terms of ultimates. Both Nautilus and Camille that were picked at the end. A couple better ultimates that he could get. Speaking of which, Hextech Ultimatum here onto the Gnar. No Mega Gnar. Rascal flashes and hops away. And he will survive, but that does mean that the Gnar is essentially out here. They're trying to isolate Ghost, who does not have Flash, who does not have Cleanse, who is level 5, and who is now dead. And is just caught there. Cuz pretty low, does get taken out. Dread has to hop out of this one himself. But this is Vikla now frontlining, and there's no health bars here for the side of Nongshim. As the chase is on, it doesn't look like they will continue on to Snowflower. They will just take down. Convincing play onto the Gnar. The Rift Herald comes down now, and I think this is just going to be a basic 2-plater. And I don't think we're going to get much else out of this, as even trying to take that one down very close, as a big rotation up from KT will deny anything further.
Oh, BDD has been able to get quite a bit of gold in his pocket. Actually goes Crown this game, so can deal with the hard engage that this comp has a little bit better. I don't mind it, actually, this time around. I think it's going to be pretty strong, a little bit stronger than the Azir Crown last game.
It's like the Ghost was trying to deny backs or something, but they were hiding in the bush, also trying to cover for taking out this ward, but it's not going to happen. Yeah, BDD leading the charge. There's not too much to proc that crown, by the way, as we're trying to get on top of Aiming, as he has the Taric ultimate on top of him, but can he be saved after this? That's a lot of damage immediately, just chomped down, and Rascal's gonna get isolated too. A double kill here for Dread, and Notion make a proactive play to secure an objective. Nicely done.
Yeah, really nice Realm Warp there from BDD. They trap them there, and they blow up Aiming. And you feel kind of immortal when you have a Taric ultimate next to your side as a Jinx with a Kraken Slayer. You're hoping that, in theory, you're going to be able to do so much damage you could turn that fight instantly. But the Narbar expires right before this for Rascal, too. It was just such an awkward fight. Kana has teleport, so he can get in there very easily.
We do have Rascal teleporting to mid, so it looks like KT really want to get on this Drake and actually get a fight going.
Crown is broken, but it should be coming up in a few seconds here. They need to get a single pick. Who's the target? Like, Kana is so survivable here on the side. Positioning for Ghost, very good. He has Flash and Cleanse. So complicated here to get that Jinx accelerated.
Lack of vision here on the right side for Nongshim. As the drill comes in we go. Cuz gonna kick over the Trundle, but he's gonna go down. Trade of junglers here, but the Aphelios, a ton of damage there on the backside of that fight. And that makes it a 4v4.
KT, this is playing with fire here, trying to take this fight.
They do have Mega Gnar, but it's a lot of damage on the side of Nongshim with the Rise and the Aphelios. We do have Dread coming on over. Both junglers now back in the fight. A true 5v5 as the hook comes in onto the Mega Gnar, trying to go forward. The Taric ultimate gonna get so much value here as Aiming is trying to shell into Kana, but he is so survivable, he finally goes down. Excited is the Jinx, as he gets a ton of damage into that backline. But here's the front line, BDD, and Dread will take out Aiming and the entire bottom lane of KT, and ace for Nongshim as they take the fight.
Kana here looking for mid inhibitor turret. Like, I just don't think this game is winnable for KT anymore outside of a miracle or an overextension. There's at least one more fight here for Soul. But Nongshim might just walk away from that as Kana.
Okay.
The Realm Warp
trying to take the fight here, and this is absolutely Kana and BDD's fight to take, as Mega Gnar not going to do anything. BDD shells down a ton of damage. Frontline, though, here, Subjugate, Dread, and Snowflower going to get caught out in a rocket for Aiming to pick up a kill. That's not what you want to see.
And you took out the Trundle, as BDD's just going to back off over here and look for some damage onto this inner turret. TP.
Okay. And this is a Silas. Vikla is going to take a huge chunk of damage. Do they have enough to take out BDD, who is not going to get over the wall and does not have Flash? So he is going to go down, and that is a nice little shutdown there for the Gnar. Rascal getting a nice injection for himself.
Yeah, he hasn't had the greatest time managing those this game around, and I think it's kind of hopeful they'll be looking for a Drake start.
This is the time for Nongshim to fight. The Subjugate gets a decent amount of value. Probably would have died without that, but now it's a wasted Taric ultimate. Into the backline goes Kana, and here comes the team fight. Not able to kill Vikla just yet, but BDD and Ghost are huge, and they have the front line, as I said, and they will be able to just pummel through the jungle here as they take down Life, and Cuz will get away, so will Rascal. But it might not matter as Nongshim are looking to push.
Been a long time since KT's been behind in a game like this, though so significantly, especially the AD carry. IE gets hit. Yeah, you've got 3 items on a Jinx, but it's more about popping off in the later parts of the fight as Rascal's just going to come over here and show us a house. He's like, hey, anyone interested in buying?
Actually, it's a drill.
Okay, well, we like to say house here in the LCK.
Oh, sorry. They're trying to just kill that cannon, and they are having mixed success here as they do kill the cannon. Will it buy enough time is really the question. Rascal doing a great job of actually kiting this out. Will flash away, and he bought enough time for KT to stay in this game somehow.
They will lose their mid inhibitor, but like you say, they survive.
And he might die too.
Rascal, yeah.
It's like trying to take the blue buff. I mean, I guess when you're going to die anyway, it doesn't really matter too much.
Yeah, I mean, he also needs the Narbar to maybe survive, like so he thinks. His Ghost will block this.
I feel like that was by accident.
Look, I'm just trying to give players the benefit of the doubt.
Good job, Ghost.
Kind of awkward Infinity Edge-less Jinx, who also doesn't have rapid fire cannon, so she needs to be in the thick of things, and she's so reliant on the Taric ult. As, uh-oh. Where's the Jaws
TP
music?
is coming in, yeah. And yeah, we have life here, but who cares about the target at this point? Aiming is just gone. Life is too, turns out.
Yep. So that is that. That is probably the game now going into Nongshim's hands.
Hey, Zonia's for Snowflower.
Yeah. Ooh, he's got a lot of money.
Yep.
He's 2-0-10.
It's looking pretty good. There's only one inhibitor turret left. That is pretty big. Aiming going to take a big chunk. Still the Baron buff available here. Rascal on the front line just trying to hold on as that is a massive hit, but it is going to be Kana left alone, but he is a worthy sacrifice as another inhibitor is going to go down.
Yeah, you'll sacrifice your...
or maybe not.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. I think they get it. Ghost has Infernum. And he's
Okay.
Like, got the wave there. I think you'll take that. I think this has not been the cleanest end game.
They're trying to go for a fight here. We got the Taric ultimate on too as trying to get a front line here for Aiming. Maybe he did just pick up that IE. Not sure it's going to matter as BDD is just unkillable. Flashes in. Going to get into the back line here. Double kill for him as Vikla, he's nearly unkillable, but BDD is just a monster at this point as Aiming the last one standing. But the zoom in from Jonah Strong means that this one is over. Nongshim will bring us to a game 3. Pentakill here for BDD as the cherry on top as finally we get some smiles for the Nongshim players.
My man, BDD. In their own way, they realized maybe we shouldn't play around Ghost as much in this game. And yeah, they gave him the Aphelios early on in the draft.
Yeah.
But the way they pivoted.
Yeah, I mean, Tompkins making it all this way against the composition that KT has is really, really nice. Obviously, the Renata Glass, Aphelios, the idea to deal with the Tahm Kench, but the pick itself and team fights will be fantastic with the Devour. Off we go into this one. And I feel like the biggest win of the draft outside of,
Yep. See how well Victor can lane into the early game Sylas. Now, this is obviously somewhat player dependent. Victor's had some pretty rough laning phases, but as the Victor, you could just kind of cue the Sylas repeatedly. And that is exactly what BDD is doing here in the lane.
We got a couple of lanes where you can do that. Mid and top, as that's a pretty big trade coming in from Vikla. No follow-up auto here from BDD, so nicely traded back at least.
Yeah, that was... You usually have to make sure they can't follow through on you like that, as he did previously, but he's got a pot and a cookie. He'll be all right.
Ooh, they would love to stop the back here. Oh, stopped back himself, but now spotted. Here is Dread. Can Rascal run away? The answer should be yes. There's a fight on the bottom side. 2v2 flash out of Ghost. As they look for a bit more Gravitum here onto Snowflower, but it is Tahm Kench. Actually, the Lick getting a nice amount of damage back here as Kana really wants to stop the back from the Gwen, but will not be successful.
Unfortunate here. A teleport's going to come back through, too, and he's going to hold this minion wave.
Most of the time, the argument against the Biscuits is that if you're not even going to use it, why even take it? As Aiming is in a lot of trouble here. I think he's absolutely dead. Nothing that life can do to save him. Cannon Barrage comes in. First blood for Gangplank as Kana from top lane takes the kill.
This is a kind of risky call here. Like, Vikla's rotating over.
Seems like they really want to take this fight, but we have the hostile takeover in the choke, so immediately Nongshim, they should at least just back away. Paranoia as well. You gotta get out here. Devour as well, but now everybody just on the run. The Gravitum over the wall as well. Just everybody getting caught up, but especially Snowflower. He is just going to go down without burning exhaust or flash.
And if they had gotten even one more kill, I think they just instantly dropped this in bottom and Aiming actually gets on the plates.
Kana has flash. He is going to flash the chains here, but Slow comes in from the queue, and now he's in a bit of trouble. Very fast is the GP, though. Vikla looking for it. The Cannon Barrage committed to, and it's not going to do anything as Vikla just picks it up. Easy peasy. 2-0 now for the Sylas.
Yeah, and that's a Gangplank removed from the map. They're going to try to make a cross map.
Okay, that's an Abyssal Dive under turret. Flash away into huge Infernum ultimate, and now Aiming is going to get exhausted, but I'm not sure it's going to matter too much. Do they have the damage? Yes, they do. Life picks up the kill, and Flash on in now as an arrow forces another flash.
So the 2 extra kills that Sylas has in his pocket are more valuable gold. He's using the power that Sylas has in early mid so extremely well. This is going to be a Rift Herald to crash mid, give him some additional money. As Vikla is ready to pop off this game, he has been in position every time, every step of the way.
Every single ult, it feels like, is getting so much value, too. Even the Chaos Storm to zone them away, to secure the plates, make sure Shelly gets the charge. Here we have 3 plates for a Gwen already.
Which is significant in itself, but it's what he's done with the kills, like the power they get, the plates they get elsewhere because of those kills.
Okay, ult against ult. Gwen should win this one as Kana takes a fight here. He thinks he has the item advantage, and honestly, those items do look scary, but new little pick that we don't see all the time, but can farm much faster than the Trundle.
Well, what's so funny about it is, we can watch this one more time. Rascal has his Q stacked, and he has Riftmaker and hits every needle, doesn't care. Succinct, nah. His damage will be safe and deadly and fatal and
true.
Big lead. Yeah.
Well, we're gonna have Cuz coming in here doing big lead damage as well, as Kana is unfortunately once again caught out this time a little bit too far down the lane. Now the barrel is going to be pretty nice, and he oh, okay, actually going to get the burn down onto the Gwen, so does trade it back just barely.
We don't know exactly how it's calculated. It's not really public, but I mean, I think the lane matchup calculation is definitely a big part of this. Is why we've had like John atop and stuff like that earlier in the year. As this is going to be the Gangplank trade back kill.
I think he said I think I can kill her.
잡았나?
Trial by fire.
다행이다.
Oh, he said I think I'm dead. It's like the exact opposite. But he was like, ooh, I got her.
And
we have Infernal Soul, by the way.
It's pretty big. It's pretty massive. A bounty is picked up here as well, which is actually pretty massive. Kana is able to take that one off the map and will pick up some gold for his teammates. Vikla.
He is so tanky. He like doesn't take any damage. He's just gonna flash away as the hostile takeover does, catch a bunch of them. Here's the vision of Cuz taking Dragon. You have a Devourer and an Exhaust and a lot of melee champions that are going to be diving you. Like, there actually are methods to be auto-attacking as Ashe in this game. Kana is left alone. There is a blasting plan. He elects to flash and die instead as the hostile takeover comes over and gets 2 flashes out of them. A lot of damage onto life here. The follow with the Chaos Storm not amounting to too much.
Get away from me!
That was more of like a backhanded slap than a handshake. As now Snowflower, they chase for very long. Not sure why they're still trying to fight this 3v5.
They just don't have damage, Valdez.
Back away. Did you see that burn, though? Yeah. As, here we go, TP in the backside. They did not clear out the vision, as maybe they're trying to get on top of Cuz here. Barrel will miss, as they do have the back ping up on the top side, as that burn onto Vikla actually is getting some work done. This time around, in comes Rascal. They knew he was back here, or at least they should have. In comes the Nocturne. As not too much damage, but they finally do take down Dread. As following up here, the arrow into Rascal will go into that stopwatch. As no jungler here for Gnome, so they cannot contest. And the Infernal Soul will come in for the side of KT, as now Vikla is getting into the thick of things here, as he gets actually bursted down by a huge Gangplank hit. But now it's only the Gangplank, basically, who's on the run.
Yeah, Kana is basically doomed. Snowflower is left him out to dry. He is running away as fast as his frog legs will carry him. He's not hopping.
You saw what happens when a volley hits Vikla. He now has a shield. Cuz is caught out here. This is kind of unfortunate. Going to turn out the lights now, as frontlining is the Trundle and BDD, actually. So that utility getting him some value in this one.
They still have the life ult here, the hostile takeover, so KT have choke points in their favor if anyone tries to chase or follow. They still have vision control around the Baron itself. So even though Nongshim win a trade of ults here, arguably, because theirs are on such low cooldown and are less important for them in team fights, like KT are still ready to be like, nah, we have more damage, we have a real 80 carry.
They're doing Baron.
And they will kill the Baron very fast, as we as is pictured on your screens and your television sets.
Yeah, Baron's going to go down here. They read the situation very nicely, as nope, it's going to be Denied as Rascal just going to get hit by that. And yeah, that's going to be the Baron fully. They read, okay, they're all going to back here. We did a lot of damage to them, so let's just go for the Baron. Follow up after we pretend to back.
It's past your comp's expiration date. The Aphelios has real items, and he's going to kill you.
And speaking of which, very nice flash actually on the tip of the iceberg there, as now Kana going to be feared up, has the oranges, but the damage just a bit too much, as the better gangplank in this case is Vikla. The Sylas will steal the Cannon Barrage. Actually does a heck of a lot.
He'll deny build because he built Executioner's Calling earlier, like whatever that item is called. I think we all know which one is better. I mean, aiming is up 3 levels. It's not a fair comparison, but this game has very quickly been it's been unwinnable for Nongshim. Let's just say, like, the team fights have not been going their way. They're going to group up for one last one here on the Elder. They need a miracle.
Okay, Banshee's Veil down. Again, ability haste, so he's going to have that back in just a moment. I feel like Nongshim are actually backing for that and allowing BDD to get some poke in. Again, pretty difficult.
Rascal is pushing the base also.
Yeah.
Like, there's a clock on this one, Nongshim, and you don't have the damage to win these longer fights.
You've seen this happen so many times in the LCK. Rascal has Baron. He's pushing an inhibitor.
Now we can TP in.
Stolen Storm is not actually going to hit BDD, so even the Q from the Nocturne not enough. BDD getting a lot down here as he's actually going to force Vikla to flash away. So perhaps this is the moment for Nongshim to try to get in there, but the lights are off and down. No, the Devourer comes in. It's used onto the Ashe, though, so BDD's just running away. The hostile takeover hits the front side of Nongshim, and the rest just melts away like ice cream. And that is going to be BDD alone by himself, doing a lot of damage per gold to yet another Nongshim loss. It's looking like here, Wolf.
Yeah, it's one of those BD stats games, man. 0, 1, and 2. He built the crown. He wasn't dying. I think it was a good choice. There's just too many threats, frankly, in Nongshim that Nongshim has to deal with. Snowflower can only devour once. Yeah. And there's no Zhonya's here. There's no follow-up damage. Like, oh, we almost killed Victor, but he survived. But we're doing a lot of damage. No, you're not. You're not doing any damage.
Everybody else lives, and down will go the Nexus.
Not the cleanest 2-1 victory here for KT Rolster. I think a lot of people expected them to smash it today, and like Freddy Brion before them, I think Nongshim showed up tonight a lot more than we expected. Like you mentioned, both telecom teams expected to take a 2-0, but had a bit of a rocky path to a dominant end in their series.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Jason for the KT Roasters POG interview, joined by Aiming and Vikla. Summer KT is fully activated. You guys are on a huge match win streak and on the 5th place. How do you feel? I'm so proud that we actually managed to get a long winning streak, and I want to keep winning in the future too. Same, I also want to keep winning. I have a question about game number 1 drafting. So KT drafted Twitch Renata into Aphelios Tompkins. This was the first time we actually saw Twitch with a different support other than Yuumi and Rakan. So they actually, the opponent had a lot of pressure facing against, Twitch playing a little bit like an assassin there, and also Sylas was able to steal great ults as well. Renata was doing a great job too. I think today we had a great result. The outcome was really good, and playing in game was really comparable to go with Renata together. I think you were playing Twitch like Zeri today. This was your first ever Twitch game on a competitive match, and you were so good at it. So I guess you were having a great time with that pick in scrims, right? I'm a bit of a talented player kind of a type. So even if I don't really have a lot of experience of certain picks, I still do good on stage. Aiming flexing on a little bit of his talent on the stage interview over there, but Vikla, you were able to play Sylas for 3 games in a row, and your Sylas is currently sitting on 5 wins and 1 loss scoreline. Tell me about your Sylas. I'm really good at not getting scared of the opponent and being really aggressive in team fights. Whenever Sylas is open, do you want to always play that, or is that KT, the team's opinion? I like playing Sylas, but also our team thought it was a good pick for our comp. In game number 2, we had Tariq as a support for Jinx, but you guys were not able to connect that into a victory. So how did you guys learn from game 2 loss and prepare for game 3? To be honest, whenever I play Jinx, I kind of lose a lot, so I didn't actually wanted to play Jinx, but Jinx was the only option available at the time. But whenever I just play Jinx, I lose. So I think it's cursed somehow. Yeah, I was about to ask about it, but you were not able to get a single victory on Jinx so far. What do you think goes wrong? I mean, when I play Jinx, I get through lane pretty well, but I die a lot later on, and also my teammates just gets like doomed in lane, so we get doomed all together. So I hope next time we can get a victory. Maybe a little bit of a Jinx on your Jinx? Yeah, I think so. And Vikla, KT Roaster is really good at snowballing once you guys get the lead. And in game number 1, you guys actually made 9700 Baron power play. And also in game 3 as well, you guys are able to close out the game really fast after grabbing a single lead. Who's the centerpiece of this kind of a playstyle? It's me. I'm always full of spirit and energy. I always call for fights. I don't agree with him. He's just being too confident, overflow of confidence, and I don't like that. I think KT, all 5 players are doing a great job, so it's a teamwork, I want to say. Aiming, you are just carrying KT Roaster on many different picks together with Life on the bottom lane. So tell me about your, teamwork at Life, and how much credit do you want to share with him? Well, whenever I get POG, I actually get it thanks to Life playing so well. So Life is my personal player of the game every time. A very wholesome conversation. Over to Life, adding to this interview, and your next opponent will be T1, the current first place in the LCK. There were a lot of unfortunate matches against T1 in the past, but I really want to overcome that and finally get a win over T1. Me too. I think T1 is really strong right now, so I really want to take them down for once. And this will be the end of the interview from the KT Roaster POGs. Back to the carpet space. Thank you.